Welcome to Class Online School. We are going to take our corner for today's sex education corner, and we are going to look at crushing. And we're going to cover a number of points here. Now let's paint a scenario. Your 14 years old daughter comes from school and it tells you, "Mommy or Daddy," or even if it is a boy and it tells you, "Mommy or Daddy, there's somebody I'm liking. I love this person. I love so person." How will you feel? Will you feel devastated? Will you feel that the child is a spoiled child? Or will you feel disappointed? Now let's look at crushing. It has to be having interest in the opposite sex. Having interest in the opposite sex. Liking a particular individual in a romantic way. That's crushing. So if your child comes to you and said he or she is crushing over an individual, will you feel disappointed? No. You have to play a very good role and reassure your child. First, relax as a parent. Let's take point 1. Relax. Remember, you've passed that age and you know that it's part of the growing process. So you have to relax and think of ways you want to help your teenager or you want to help your adolescent. So first, relax and know that it's part of their growing up and you have passed through this stage. Then secondly, appreciate the child for speaking her mind or his mind. It is not all children that will like somebody or crush over somebody that will come out openly and tell you, "This is what I feel." Some are so secretive, some hide what they feel inside. And so if your child feels this way and he comes out openly to tell you, "Mommy or Daddy," or as a guardian or as a teacher, he tells you what he or she feels, appreciate the child. Reassure the child that is part of the growing process. Don't start scolding the child. Alright, so when the child knows that it's part of the growing process, the third thing is assure the child that what he or she feels is not wrong. That is part of development. It is part of the changes he or she is going through. That's why we have this corner, sex education. Many parents do not do it. We want you to do it. That's why we introduce this part. And so at this age, if you have not been having open discussion about sexual growth, changes in the child's body, puberty, gender identity, this is when you come up with it. You have to explain a lot of things to the child. So if you've not gotten the opportunity to start sex education with the child, this is an opportunity to do that. Then the fourth one, let the child know that caring about someone emotionally or romantically is human nature. Let the child know that caring about someone you love emotionally or romantically is part of human nature and is part of growing up and is becoming part of him because he's a growing human being. Then the sixth one, this is the fifth one. The sixth one is open up on sexual challenges that young ones. That will be our next topic. Sexual challenges that teenagers meet, or sexual challenges that goes on during teenage age and what happens in puberty. But we're going to talk about challenges, sexual challenges that teenagers and face as they grow up. Then under this, there are a lot of points we will mention, so come along on our next episode when we discuss that. Then the 7 points, the 7 points we're going to talk about, ask question, ask your child, What is it that you like about this person? What attracted you to this individual? Remember, most times why we crush on people we crush on is, one, they are handsome or they are beautiful, they are intelligent, they have a good character that have drawn this person to you. So ask your child, what have drawn you to this individual? Why do you like this person in question? Listen to the child talk. Let the child tell you why he likes this person. Now, after asking clarifying question why he or she is crushing on this person, what you do next is tell the child or explain to the child how he or she have to manage his emotion, how he or she needs to manage his emotion, because if he does not manage the emotion, it can lead to premarital sex. So in as much as you've told him that it is part of growing process, it is not wrong to have affection for person emotionally or romantically, tell him the boundaries. Tell him how close is too close. Educate the child on how to manage his attraction, how to manage his or her feelings, in order not to use such feelings to fall into things that may hurt or haunt the child. Let him know that if not well controlled, the child might fall into premarital sex, which might lead to being sexually active at a young age. If you've not watched our video on how to handle a sexually active teen, it is episode 3 of our sex education section. You can go through and watch it. Now, after that, let the child know that this person is not your enemy. See this person as your friend, because you're already attracted to the person, but know that it is majorly for friendship. Don't take it too personal. Don't grow the friendship beyond where it is. Until you grow up to be a matured adult, you know whether what you feel is actually love or infatuation. So help the child to set boundaries, help the child to navigate this age, and let the child know that there are limits to this friendship and this likeness. In as much as this person is your friend, you don't look at him as an enemy, but know how far is too far. Then have an open discussion about puberty, how your sexual urge can overtake you if not well handled. That's where sex education comes in again. Then the 10th one is here, preach abstinence for the child. Let the child know what it means to abstain, because getting attracted to the opposite sex is telling you that the child is already having sexual feeling and sexual urge. Then set boundaries. If this person your child is crushing on is your family friend or is a close person, somebody you know, invite both of them and have an open discussion with both individuals, the boy and the girl. If the boy is your child, invite the girl over if it's a close person that you know. If it is the girl, invite the boy over and have a close discussion. Have an open discussion with both of them and know that there is how far they have to go. Set boundaries. Tell them the boundaries you as a parent have set, and tell them the negative effects that will happen if they don't control their emotion. And let them know they can be friends on a platonic ground without any string attached to it. And so we have seen how we can handle crushing, how we can help our children handle their crush. First, relax as a parent. Don't start shouting. You've passed through this stage and you know how it is. Let them know it's a growing process. Reassure the child that it's a normal growing process. Assure the child. Let the child know that caring and being emotional or romantically attracted to the other person is not a bad idea, but it has boundaries. Ask questions while the child know ask question why the child likes this particular person he's crushing on, and see points you can use to advise the child. Then open up some challenges that the child will meet as a teenager because of the hormonal changes that is going on the body or in the body. Then let the child know how he or she can manage such attraction so that they don't get involved in premarital sex, and this can damage their future. See your crush as your friend, but set boundaries. Let the child know that you're not going to see the individual as an enemy. If you want the child to see this individual as an enemy, you are going to scare your child away and it's not going to open up to you. So advise the child. The person can still be your friend, but there are friends that are too close and there are friends that are just friends. Let him know that friendship on a platonic ground is not bad. Tell the child, grow up and know what you want. At this instance, preach abstinence and let the child know how to control his or her body. Then invite the crush over. If it's a close person that you know, have an open discussion with both of them. Set boundaries for them. Tell them why they need to stay away from each other when it comes to romantic relationship, and tell them how they can navigate and put their feelings in check. And then finally, set boundaries for your child on how he or she have to handle such friendship. So when your child said, I'm crushing on somebody, please don't start shouting and scolding. Please reassure the child. You've passed through this stage, help the child pass through this stage very well. If you don't handle this stage well, this child might get wounded badly. Thank you for being part of our episode on sex education. In our next episode, we are going to talk about sexual challenges that comes to teenagers. Sexual challenges that comes to teenagers. So come along, watch our previous episode on how to handle a sexually active teen and other episodes that we have, and follow along as we take other topics. As we go along, we might put these videos together for those who want to watch it, but we are just starting this journey, or we have been in the middle of this journey. We have a number of episodes on sex education. Thank you for being part of our class. Subscribe if you don't subscribe to our channel. Help our children to grow better as parents, as guardians, as teachers, as counselors in schools and in other places. Help these children. Let them navigate through. We want them to be better children and that will grow up to be better adults tomorrow. I will see you in our next episode when we discuss other challenges that our teens are meeting as they grow and develop into adulthood.